Hello and welcome to RIEGL's booth in this very special year's Esri User Conference. My name is Marcos Garcia. I'm Business Development Manager for RIEGL in Asia Pacific. I'm based in Hong Kong. I'm bringing you this news from Hong Kong. I'm joined today by my colleague Kelly.
Yeah, I'm Kelly Gorson. I'm the 3D GIS product specialist at RIEGL, and I'm based in Vienna today.
Excellent. So we are here to bring you the latest and greatest regarding our anticipated and upcoming RIEGL add-in software for ArcGIS Pro. So LiDAR and imagery captured from airborne and mobile is nowadays big data, and managing it has become a real challenge for many organizations. So in order to optimize the daunting tasks of processing, uploading, visualizing, and cataloging these very large data sets, and to offer effective solutions to ArcGIS Pro users, we have partnered with Esri to develop an efficient workflow that would solve these issues with more or less the touch of a button. With the latest innovations on LiDAR systems, like the powerful aerial and mobile scanners that we have developed over these last few years, the amount of information that we are gathering has kept on increasing dramatically. It is really important now more than ever to work as efficiently as possible. But also users' expertise has increased dramatically, and geospatial data is not 2D anymore. So we are more and more 3D as well in GIS. So the applications for the use of this data is ever increasing. Someone once said that we are becoming data rich, but information poor. So we bring you RIEGL. And you would be saying, but what is RIEGL? Well, to put it simply, RIEGL is a software extension or an add-in that runs in ArcGIS Pro, and it allows you to manage, visualize, analyze, and/or share all your LiDAR collections. So RIEGL is a tool built for ArcGIS Pro to ingest mobile and airborne LiDAR projects that have been processed in RIEGL's RIProcess software. The Pro add-in reads the RIProcess file and ingests the LiDAR, imagery, and trajectory data, and a wealth of project metadata into an ArcGIS project, streamlining the transition between processing, analyzing, and managing your LiDAR projects, and even making important project information accessible in easy-to-use web applications. So how do you manage your collections with RIEGL? Well, you can easily catalog information about any airborne or mobile collection, including all your key data. With a single press of a button, you can then publish it for others to view and search. But you can also add security, granting access to only a given number of people, someone in your organization, for your customers, etc., etc. And you can you can show it in a variety of platforms, such as tablets, smartphones, and so on. But enough of all this theory and presentation. Kelly, who's been developing the system from the very beginning, will be able to take you through RIEGL itself and show you all of its potential. Kelly has been working with our RIEGL Esri consultant, Ron Berendt, and she knows far better than me or anybody else what the system can do. So Kelly, please, if you don't mind, what we're going to do is we're going to switch off the cameras so people can concentrate on the most important part of the presentation, and then we'll come back at the very end.
Okay, great. Thank you, Marcos. Right. So Ri-MAP. Ri-MAP is an ArcGIS Pro add-in. You can see it here in the add-in manager in ArcGIS Pro. When you install Ri-MAP, a RIEGL tab gets created on the ribbon. And in the RIEGL tab, there are the 3 Ri-MAP buttons. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Ri-MAP import button. This has 2 features. It can create feature classes of informative project metadata from your RIProcess project, and it can import LiDAR and imagery from that project as well. So to run the Ri-MAP tool, you need to locate your Ri-MAP, your RIProcess project file that you would like to import, and then you can add any additional comments on the project that you would like to keep with it in the comments file, and then you simply click Run. This run will create 2 feature classes, a trajectory feature class and a rough project overview feature class. The trajectory feature class contains metadata associated with those trajectories, such as altitude and number of scan records. And the overview coverage feature class contains metadata such as when the project was acquired, when it was processed, which sensor was used, and whether or not the project contains imagery. These feature classes can then be published into a Ri-MAP web application through the Publish button on the ribbon. The Ri-MAP web applications are stored in your personal ArcGIS online account, and so can be kept as private or as public as you would like. These web apps allow you to search and sort through your LiDAR project collections based on collection attributes. This is a very intuitive web app which enables others in your organizations or your clients to search through and assess the data you've collected, but it also empowers managers to have a better feel and understanding about how the company is utilizing their RIEGL scanning systems. So the second part of the Ri-MAP import is ingesting your LiDAR and imagery data straight from the RIProcess project into ArcGIS Pro. So we've tried to make this as simple and as automated as possible. So Ri-MAP itself creates the ArcGIS Pro data structures for LiDAR and imagery. These include LAS datasets for LiDAR, mosaic datasets for NADAR imagery for airborne systems, and oriented imagery catalogs for oblique imagery captured from mobile systems. And there's an example of the OIC in the bottom left there, which works very well with the mobile collections. So let's go through a quick setup of the Ri-MAP for the LiDAR ingestion. So once you've selected your RPP, your RIProcess project file, and filled in the comments like we did previously, you select the LiDAR dropdown, and from here you can choose which scan record or RDBX file you would like to import, or all of them. You choose an output folder for the LiDAR data, and if you have one, a GSFX file. Then there's the imagery dropdown, which reads an image list, a camera model file, and some other specifics about the imagery data. And like most other ArcGIS Pro tools, Ri-MAP also requires the user to specify a coordinate system. So once this is done by selecting Run, the rest of the Ri-MAP tool runs. So this will now not only create feature classes of project coverage and trajectories, but it will also ingest the actual LiDAR and imagery data and create the necessary Esri data structures for your data to be utilized effectively in ArcGIS Pro. So once you have your LiDAR and imagery data within the Esri data structures, you have a plethora of LiDAR-related tools at your fingertips for visualizing and analyzing your collections. These are Esri developed tools, and new ones are being added all the time. However, creating some of the data structures can be a bit time-consuming, a little confusing, and often take a bit of GIS and laser scanning knowledge to set them up correctly. This is why Ri-MAP has also automated some of the most common ArcGIS Pro workflows for creating derivatives for LiDAR data. These include digital surface models, digital elevation models, and NDSM or canopy height models. These workflows usually require a couple of steps to achieve the raster result, Ri-MAP derivatives takes care of that for you. Right. So here's an example of running the Ri-MAP derivatives tool. So you need to import your last data set that you created in the previous import step. And then you simply choose which data structure you would like to create. So here's an example of a DSM, a DEM, and an NDSM. In addition to the raster derivatives, you can also create scene layer packages, which are required to display point clouds in the web in ArcGIS Online. The scene layer package is a packaged dataset of I3S files. So here's an example of streaming of the 3D points in a web application from a web browser. So this is an I3S scene layer package. And this type of streaming requires no desktop software and can be viewed from a web browser. So Esri's web apps have quite a few widgets as well. So here's an example of a 3D measurement widget, which makes measuring in 3D nice and simple and easy to use. But there's many other widgets to explore in ArcGIS Online. So that's all from me. I'll hand it back over to you, Marcus.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Great presentation. Really interesting project to be involved in. We are all very excited to see it coming to life very, very soon. So you would perhaps be asking yourselves, so when can I get my hands on this Ri-MAP add-in? Well, basically, we are planning now to roll it out by the end of this year. We will make it available for download via the Esri marketplace. And the best news of all is that for our existing RIEGL users, we are rolling it out at no cost. So you will be leveraging from a very, very powerful tool, and it will not be costing you any extra. We've been finding a lot of interest for different sectors, for smart city planning, etc., etc. And we are hoping that you will also get excited, that you will like it, and that you will reach out to us and give us your feedback, your questions, your suggestions, your ideas, things that you want to see done there, etc., etc. So we will very much welcome all your comments. It's been a real pleasure. You have there on the screen now our contact details. You can write to either myself or Kelly, and we'll be taking any ideas that you have on board. Kelly, thank you very much for being there today. It's been a real pleasure holding this webinar with you. I hope you have enjoyed it yourself as well. And well, we thank you for listening and seeing our webinar to the very end. And we hope you all enjoy the conference, and we hope to see you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much.